morning and welcome to After GMS. So glad you could join us on another hot and sticky day, because what else is new here in the Triad? I'm Tracy McCain in the studio. Megan Malaris and Stacey Spivey are working from home. Ed Matthews is in our weather garden, and let's get started with these sticky details. I need some relief, Ed Matthews. Is it coming anytime soon?
Well, by the end of the 7-day, we might be able to trim a few degrees off. I'm not so sure we're going to feel a big difference, but every degree we can knock off would be great. But in the meantime, we're looking at mid-90s today and tomorrow. Very low storm chance today, basically just hot and dry. And then beginning tomorrow and even more so, Wednesday through Friday, a better chance of afternoon and evening storms. We got a little frontal boundary that will move into the region and kind of stall out, and that'll be a little extra trigger. Now, the anticipated extra clouds will lower the temperatures a little bit. Wednesday and Thursday around 90, and then by Friday and the weekend, temperatures are in the upper 80s. Remember that our normal high is 88 for this time of year. We've just been well above that here recently.
Oh, just a little bit of a change might feel a little better. So I'm excited for Friday. Fridays are always really great anyway. You add this, it's even better. All right, we'll jump into our first talker here. And that conversation, Stacey, has a lot to do with what experts are calling another shutdown across the nation. So Stacey, let's dig right into it.
Yeah, so the letter is signed by hundreds of health workers and posted on the nonprofit U.S. Public Interest Research Group's website. It says they believe the country opened too soon, too fast, and that non-essential businesses should close once again like they did back in phase 1. So doctors and health workers added more needs to be invested in testing, contact tracing, and PPE. This has a lot of people talking online and on our Facebook page. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Blair says, no, with an exclamation point. Melissa is on the opposite side saying yes. Mariana writes, nope, we will have to deal with it at sometime anyways. People just need to keep distancing and be careful. And Betty says, nobody wants businesses to be closed and kids out of school. Parents need to work, rent, mortgages, and have to be paid, but we have to listen to the experts and make decisions for our own families. I also posted this on my Facebook page, guys, getting a lot of split comments, people for shutting down the country again, people completely against it. And at this point, I don't know what would be best. I feel like here in North Carolina, we are currently in phase 2, and I feel like that's what we need to be in as a state. So I feel like it should be possibly state by state basis. I mean, I don't know. I'll just have you guys weigh in, I guess.
I don't know if my mic is on. Oh, there we go. I'm like, I was talking, but I couldn't hear. So, okay. So now that we got that kink out, I will say that I'm a forward thinker. I've never really concentrated on the past. I've always learned from it, but I've always liked to adjust and move forward because that way you can, just get on, move in a better direction instead of always looking behind. I don't feel like what we thought was normal 6 months ago is going to be normal 6 months from now. It certainly isn't in this moment. So, in terms of moving back to a lockdown, it's not really something that's on my current state of mind. I know that I'm doing what I need to do to stay safe with my family, but I'm not really thinking backwards. I'm kind of trying to move forward here. Hopefully everybody else is too, Ed.
Yeah, I like your attitude there. I hope that we do not do another shutdown. I just am not sure that our economy can handle it. The greatest country on earth has the greatest economy, and we were doing great before this nasty pandemic. The jobless rate was way down for everybody, and things were just going well, and then here comes the pandemic. I do agree that we need to move forward, but we need to continue to drill into everybody's head the idea of social distancing and wearing a mask. There are people that maybe for medical reasons can't wear a mask, and I certainly respect and understand that, but there are people that are just refusing to not wear a mask. And I would hope that they will change their mind as we move forward and we can get a handle on this nasty virus. But I do not want to see our economy going backwards. We're suffering enough as it is.
All right, Meg, would you like to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I agree with Ed. It doesn't seem like, despite the mask mandate in effect in North Carolina, people are complying. I was waiting in the parking lot of an auto body shop yesterday, waiting for a part for my car to pick up, and my husband went in with his mask on to get it. And I witnessed 10 people walk into that store without masks on. And granted, we know there are exemptions in place for medical reasons, so I don't know the circumstances beyond why these people were not complying with the statewide mask mandate, but perhaps that was the reason. Nonetheless, it could be a contributing factor in delaying our reopening. Already, several businesses are still shut down under the extended phase 2 order. We've been unable to move into phase 3 given the data with the metrics. The percent of tests coming back positive is still higher than the 5% the state health department wants to see to prove that this spread is slowing. We've been seeing 8 to 10% recently. The national average is about 10% at last check, so we'll update that information today at noon. But it doesn't seem like shutting down or going back to phase 1 is the right decision either, because we've seen the horrible toll it's taken on our economy and individual families, millions of people still out of work or looking to fill the jobs that are available. So we do need to be forward thinking and start figuring out what's it going to take for this virus to curb. Is it going to be the vaccine? If so, how soon can that roll out, and how quickly can the majority of people get it?
All right, well, a lot of people are talking about this online. I'm just kind of like browsing through comments. Stacey, I'm sure you are too. You have a task ahead of you trying to figure out which ones to read. So I'll let you get started here.
Yeah, I've been trying to monitor them as each of you have been kind of giving your 2 cents on everything. Carol says we need to move forward, while Davina says fine, if they want to shut us down, then they need to give us Americans the same stimulus as other countries, $2,000 or more a month until this, she said, crap is over. Sorry for that word. Donna said no. Jason said people wear your mask, wash your hands, and move forward. A lot of people weighing in, again, trying to monitor these comments. Kathy asked, when is the governor going to make a decision in regard to moving forward? We're going to keep monitoring that. Cindy says no shutdown. And Shannon said, if you don't wear a mask, then stop being selfish and stay home. Mary says, absolutely not. You can keep weighing in. We're going to see those comments on that stream right now.
All right, so again, about 310 people who are on the stream right now, no doubt because of this headline talking about a potential lockdown. Again, this isn't something that Governor Roy Cooper is deciding, but it is something that I guess, Stacey, is a national conversation. I don't really feel like the president is talking about this either. I haven't heard him mention that, but experts, as you mentioned, are calling for it.
Yeah, it's doctors and health experts across the country. Actually, 650 of them, I believe, as of yesterday, had kind of weighed in favor of the country shutting down. They're kind of recommending this happens.
All right, well, again, no political leaders have said anything, but we will keep you updated to see if this even becomes a thing. All right, let's go ahead and get to your morning headlines with Megan.
Yeah, and here's a decision we do know is coming tomorrow. Guilford County School District officials are expected to lay out their return to school plan for this fall. It's expected to include some type of mix of remote learning and in-person classes. The school board will meet tomorrow to discuss those plans. Meanwhile, a group of Guilford County parents is rallying together, pushing for high school sports to resume next week. This group gathered at Latham Park last night. They say the uncertainty has left their student athletes feeling hopeless. Right now, GCS is set to resume fall sports practices on August 3rd, but that date already has been pushed back at least once before. GCS says it wants to make sure it's safe before athletes hit the field again. Today, President Donald Trump is visiting North Carolina. The president will tour a Morrisville facility approved to work on a COVID-19 vaccine. It's currently in phase 1 of clinical trials, and the president is expected to make a speech after the tour today. We'll bring you full coverage of the visit tonight on WFMY News 2.
North Carolina remains in phase 2 until at least August 7th. Until then, you are required to wear a mask in public and when you cannot social distance. If you need a mask, WFMY's Candace Redd is sharing how and where you can get one today for free.
As you know, the state of North Carolina is requiring the use of face coverings to help slow the spread of COVID-19. It's all part of the state's Safer at Home Phase 2 plan, which is extended until August 7th. Again, that date being August 7th. Well, health officials say cloth face coverings can reduce the release of infectious particles into the air when someone speaks, coughs, or sneezes. Face coverings, however, are not a substitute for staying 6 feet apart, washing hands, and staying home when sick. The city of Burlington is teaming up with the Alamance County Health Department and the United Way of Alamance County to hold a free face mask giveaway. The city plans on giving away a total of 30,000 face masks. Each person will receive 2 masks. Well, people can also request another pack of 2 masks for a family member or friend if needed. Well, Peter Bishop is the Economic Development Director for the city of Burlington, and he says it's vital for all residents to have access to a mask to help fight the COVID-19 crisis.
We want to move forward and progress as a community and stop some of these more recent surges that we've seen in North Carolina and in Alamance County with some cases. So we think it's important to get masks out to our citizens, to do it quickly. And that's really one of the key goals was to get something that we could turn around and get to our citizens in response to the executive order.
By the way, the free face mask giveaway is a drive-through event to help ensure proper social distancing measures. But if you do not have a vehicle, you still can attend the event on foot. Taking a look at your screen as I want to ensure you have all of the details. The mask giveaway is today from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at North Park on Sharp Road in Burlington. Well, if you cannot make it to today's event, the city will be holding another face mask giveaway tomorrow. And you can find all of those details on our website. That's WFMYnews2.com.
Well, as the conversation about masks continues this morning, of course, everyone recommended to wear one, but not every child wants to. So I asked for your tricks on my Facebook page. I want to know how old your kids are, do they wear masks, and what do they do, or what did you do to help them be okay with it? And we did get some responses this morning. Lisa Rochelle said, I showed both my children what a video of someone getting tested for COVID looked like. That worked for the most part with my older one. He is 10. Robin Lee DePerna said, let them pick out the design. They have Avengers and other children's styles. Shirley Carter Street Grave said, I have a 7-year-old great-granddaughter. She wears hers faithfully without having to be told. Eloise Garner said, I don't have young children. I do have friends with 3-year-olds, and they are wearing them. They did a lot of practicing at home. So there are a few of you who are weighing in on our Facebook page, and I appreciate that. I will read those in just a few minutes. But first, you know, this is a conversation that I had in my house. I do have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I think what it took for my 4-year-old was, you know, seeing my husband and I wearing them while we are out. And, you know, he was like, oh, if you're wearing one, then I'm going to wear one too. It's kind of that modeled behavior. Whereas my 2-year-old, she's like, forget about it. I don't care what you have on. You know, I'm not wearing one regardless. And, you know, she's not required to. However, you know, we make sure that we protect her in other ways. So, Ed Matthews, I know you have a nephew who is now in his 20s, which is hard for me to believe. Is he wearing a mask?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, required to wear it where he works. I like the idea of kids being able to pick out their own pattern, you know, with the different characters that they have. It kind of gives them ownership of the mask and kind of makes it fun. And I think that that kind of gives them the incentive, if you will, to wear the mask. So I think that's a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that incentive, that kind of like making them feel cool, like choosing the style. And Stacey, that's something that you mentioned, you know, the Disney princess ones that your mom was attempting to send you. Not sure if they actually reached your house yet, but that's a neat way to wear a mask.
Yeah, no, it hasn't made it here yet. And she actually ordered me another one with my, I went to Arkansas State University and our mascot is a red wolf. And so it has the red wolf on the face mask. So I'm going to be plenty stocked up on face masks. Obviously, I don't have kids yet. We would hope to have some in the future, but I would think being able to pick out their own would be exciting. You make it fun, just like when you go to pick out clothes for school. Hopefully that would help. I don't know though. I guess I will look at comments and see what parents out there are saying.
Yeah, I mean, I understand this could be difficult, especially if you're not having, children at the moment. But at the same time, you probably are out and about and see children. And, I'm not sure if you've noticed if they're wearing masks or not, but the ones that I have seen are. And I always ask the moms and the dads when I see them, I'm like, how did you get him to wear that? They're like, it's Carolina. Of course he's going to wear it, or whatever the sports team is that they have on. And it's just a good way, Megan, I think, to encourage. It's kind of like a hat, one dad told me. Like fitted hats have like the logos and the sports emblems and all that stuff. And they think that's cool, so they compared it to that and wearing a mask.
Oh yeah, I've seen some really cute masks for kids out there, and it does seem to encourage them to want to wear their masks. I'm not sure if it prevents them from trying to touch their faces all the time, which is, I know, a big concern, and trying to help kids not only wear the masks, but wear them effectively in a way that does not put them at greater risk. As far as kids go, I know kids 2 and younger are not recommended to wear a mask. My son is almost 7 months old, but I was wondering how else could I protect him when he's out in public. And I saw the other day another child, another baby, wearing a hat with a face shield covering. So I looked them up, and apparently they're not necessarily shields, so to say, but they are splash-proof little protectors that also have sun protection. So I did order my son Christian a little hat with a little visor that comes down over the face. It's not in yet, but I'm curious to see how that works and if he likes it when it comes in.
And this is why I asked for tips on my page, because you learn a lot from other parents. What you're doing isn't the only thing or the only option out there. And so as I see people out with their children and doing things, I'm like, hey, wait, stop. Can I ask you a question really quickly? Because there's so many different ways out there. And some parents have legitimate reasons their children are not wearing masks because of asthma or in other related illnesses. It makes it hard for them to breathe. And how do you tell a child, like, okay, if you can't breathe, this is what you do. It becomes a complicated issue, I guess,
Right.
for those families. And, I'm not one to judge here, but I will read what's going on our Facebook page. Let's see. I'm sorry, I've lost kind of like where it's going, because there are a few different conversations going on here. So I wanted to find the ones that are related to this. It's kind of hard
Well,
right
Tracy,
now.
I wanted to mention something
Yeah, go
that I saw on Facebook. I just thought about this. I know that a lot of teachers are concerned and parents are concerned about if kids do go back in the classroom to school about keeping their masks on and not losing them. And I saw a friend post this on Facebook. I thought it was really cool. You know that they have to keep to keep pacifiers on, you like clip it on the baby's clothes so that when they fall out of their mouth, they don't go on the floor. It's kind of the same concept. It's like attaching it to their clothes or on like a lanyard of some sort so that they can put the mask on, and if they take it off, it's not going to go and get lost on the playground or whatever. I thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of different things that you can do, and that positive reinforcement probably goes a long way too. A doctor I spoke with, and I'm going to post this article in just a little bit, said that that's one of the ways that you can get, especially the younger kids, is like, oh, you look really cute in that, or ask them questions about their mask, like, where did you get that from? Who is that on your mask? And they almost feel like it's Halloween, like they're playing dress up, is what this doctor told me in our interview. So I'm going to post that in case you have any questions. There are so many different conversations going on. I did read one, and I can't remember who it was from, is that someone said that they thought that their child thought that they were Peter Parker because he wears Spider-Man masks all the time. So now he's like, okay, I'm pretending to be Spider-Man because of this. So I'm sorry that I am not doing a good job keeping up with the comments, but they're coming in so fast, and there's like 3 other conversations happening, and as soon as I find a comment, it like zips past with another comment. So I apologize. I will do better. I can't help what's happening on our Facebook feed right now, but I will you know, pass it to you, Ed Matthews, the forecast. That's something you can help us with.
Yeah, absolutely. Checking the 7-day, mid-90s today and tomorrow, a heated index around 100. That's what it's going to feel like this afternoon. I tell you, it feels like a steam bath out here this morning. Low storm chance today, but over the next few days, the chance of afternoon storms will be on the increase. Pretty excited about the idea that we drop the temperatures back only but a few degrees. Some extra clouds and that better chance of those afternoon storms will be around 90 Wednesday and Thursday. And hey, liking the idea of upper 80s for